It's a great day to be alive because it's another day, another dollar, another another day that Shiori's my girl for real, boys. And I'm tired of nobody accepting the truth. I can't believe it. Ipsa, your girl is not Shiori. Don't you lie to me. What's up, man? Connor, right? Not Connor. Is it? What did you say your name was? Would you want me to call you? Guys, how many people are in here? I don't think we have a lot of people in here yet. Should I do a hair check before everybody pulls up? I feel like I should. Cole. That's what it was. That was close. Cole. My bad. Look. Hair check. I've been growing it out. Look how big my forehead is. But I've stopped wearing. Wow, look how much darker my forehead is. Stop wearing hats in public as much. Now that I'm more comfortable with it. Still growing it out though. Not there yet. But the fruits of my effort are starting to pay off finally. It's tied up a little bit. Hair check. You have like 11 girls you claim are yours, and maybe one of them could be yours. Who's the one that could be mine, in your opinion? Top knot? Yeah, it's like a small top knot. Although it just like I just ruined it right now when I put my hat on. Is it a 4 or 5 head? 5 head. Because I'm incredibly intelligent. So it's only natural that it's a 5 head. Oh, I'm gonna put on Twitter that I'm live. It says Shiori my girl for real. I need Twitter to know. Make sure you guys go and retweet it. Very important that everybody knows Shiori my girl. Put the hat on? Is that what you meant to say? Brain size is not indicative of intelligence. That's not true. I have a 5 head and you know it. It's not. You don't know what you're talking about, Eepstar. Eepstar, stop being up. Guys, I have crazy stories to tell. About somebody that. So, I was basically plastered the entire weekend. But one of my friends was telling me about this guy he knows. And what I'm about to say might be one of the most egregious stories you've ever heard in your life. I want you guys to know that. Okay? What I'm about to say is so egregious. I just need you to prepare yourself. Okay? So, my friend, he knows this guy. This guy's name is Kiefer. His name's Kiefer. He's half Indian, half Jewish. I don't even know if Jewish is a race or not. I thought it was a religion. Anyway, so there was one night where Kiefer locked himself out of his house. Okay? But Kiefer was so horny that he did not have time to go and unlock and get inside. Kiefer did not have time to go deal with that situation, okay? He was so horny. So he went and drove to the gas station, locked himself in the bathroom, took out his phone, propped it up in the stall because he can only use one arm. Kiefer does not have the use of his left arm. Apparently, the story goes he like slept on it wrong or whatever and like destroyed a nerve or something like that. And so his arm just dangles there. Anyway, So Kiefer had to prop his phone up so he could jerk off with his right hand, right? Now, he starts going at it. But for more context, Kiefer, his phone is like super cracked. He like dropped it, and so there's cracks all over his screen. Okay, whatever, right? So Kiefer's jerking it, and he finally comes, but the cum shoots onto his phone and seeps into the cracks into his phone, absolutely destroying his phone. Kiefer came on his phone and destroyed it. It's freaking nuts. It's one of the most egregious stories I've ever heard in my life. And so Kiefer had to take it to the shop. And like he had to tell them how he broke his phone. And so he went and told him that he came on his phone and like everything that was in there, like his phone is fucked up because there's cum in it. He told me so many Kiefer stories, guys. He's egregious. He's an egregious man. He's a total gigantic alcoholic. Crazy. He showed us a video of his room, and have you guys ever seen what's that show, Hoarders or whatever, where you just can't see the floor? There's just so much trash, so much just shit everywhere. That's Kiefer. He showed us the room. There's just beer cans everywhere. You can't see the ground. You can absolutely not see the ground. In the bathroom, I think I counted like maybe 40 beer cans just in the bathroom alone. It was freaking nuts. So he told us this other story of one time Kiefer went to a freaking bar, and then the next thing he knows, he's waking up in a hospital. Apparently, he got so drunk that he was just blacked out and he was just unresponsive. Apparently, his blood alcohol content was 0.4. It was 0.4. If you guys aren't aware, it starts getting deadly at like 0.3. So the EMTs told him that once he woke up in the hospital, whatever, right? But Kiefer didn't want to pay for any of that shit. Kiefer did not want to deal with the hospital. So he like took his freaking IV out like as soon as he woke up. And he like snuck out into the hallway. And he like went and he pulled the freaking fire alarm. And all the alarms just started going off. And Kiefer just freaking booked it down the hallway to get out of the freaking hospital. But like the cops, like the security guards saw his ass. And so they went and they freaking tackled his ass down. He was fighting them back, but then they like threatened to tase him, and then Kiefer gave up. Kiefer was like, okay, that's where I draw the line. So they brought him back to his room, and then Kiefer tried to escape like 2 more times. It's freaking nuts. Yeah, Kiefer has this like, he told us Kiefer, so there's one part of his room that's clean, okay? And it's a corner of his room. So it's like a wall, there's a wall there and then the ground or whatever. That's Kiefer's cum corner. It's clear because he just jerks off and just shoots it into that corner of the wall, like on the wall and on the floor. That's Kiefer's cum corner. And then he like has this specific shirt that he uses purely for wiping up the cum in the cum corner. That's his cum shirt. And so they were I can't remember what they're doing. They were doing, my friend and his homies were doing like March Madness or it was fantasy football or something like that. And like the punishment was you have to wear Kiefer's freaking cum shirt. So Kiefer's a crazy man. Kiefer is an absolute menace. Kiefer absolutely needs help. I heard some of the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life about Kiefer. Over this weekend. It was so lit. Yeah, his room's so bad that my friend's name is Will. Will told me this story, or Will told us this story of how Kiefer wanted to like frick this girl. And so obviously he can't bring her to his room, to his house or whatever. So he asked them to use their spare bedroom, which there's like a shitty mattress in there, and that's basically it. There's literally nothing in that room. And so Kiefer brought a girl to their house. They don't live with Kiefer, but he brought her to their house, to Will's freaking house, to have sex with her. And so shit happens, and he like wets the bed because apparently Kiefer wets the bed like all the time. So Kiefer wets the bed with her there, but they still fuck. They're like they wake up and there's water. And they still fuck, and then she like, and then they're having sex, and then she like pees on him while he's fucking her, and the next thing he knows, like, then everything goes black, and the next thing he knows, he wakes up and she's gone. So Kiefer's like panicking because he thinks that he has like AIDS. And so he's like freaking out, and so he gets tested, and then he doesn't have any STDs or something or whatever. But yeah, that's Kiefer's piss king. Apparently, Kiefer, he like pisses the bed multiple times a year. It just happens. He just does it. Will also told us that Kiefer goes through like 7 phones a year. His dad's rich. They're not on like good terms, I think, but I think he still gets money from it or something like that. He works in like construction, but yeah, he goes through like 6-7 phones a year because he always ends up destroying the phones. One of them through cum. Drinking up alcohol and it'll happen. Yeah, that's exactly why. He's a total alcoholic. I think he drinks like 20-something beers a day. Like I'm dead ass. Will was telling me that one time he spent the night, or they all got shit faced at their house or whatever, and they spent the night. They all spent the night at Will's house, not Kiefer's house, and they woke up. The first thing Kiefer does is he goes to the fridge and grabs a freaking beer. Goes to grab a beer, and they're all like holding him back, and they're like, "No, don't grab." They're like not letting him go to the fridge, and Kiefer starts like fighting. He starts like freaking punching bitches to get a freaking beer from the fridge. Kiefer's crazy. I want to meet him so bad. I want to meet him so bad. And he just seems so lit, but like for 4 hours only. I don't think I could tolerate that man for a long time. 7 phones a year when he took the cum phone to the shop. I don't even know. Does this man sound consistent to you? No. The only thing that's consistent is his freaking drinking. But does it seem like lit to hang out with for like for one night? One night, and then you never see Kiefer again. He seems so lit. But yeah, he only has one arm. So the entire time he was fucking her, his left arm was just dangling there. It was just dangling there while he was fucking her. I'm just trying to imagine it. He seems so lit, but like, not funny. He's a living fever dream, bro. I know. He just like slept on his arm wrong. Apparently, that's what happened. He slept on it, and like something happened to the nerve, and then he just can't use his arm now. There was like it started to get better. He's regained like a tiny amount of movement in his arm apparently. There's like this device to help him with it or something. But he left it in like New England because he went to the East Coast or something, and he left it there, and it was like $15,000. It's an expensive device. And so he kept trying to get his parents to ship it to him, but they wouldn't do it. And so he didn't have it for like 8 months. So instead of getting movement in his arm was just there. But then he rebought it. He went and rebought the device for like a frick ton of money. And then now he's able to like move it like that, like just the top of his arm. But yeah. I heard some of the greatest stories I've ever heard in my entire life this weekend. It was so lit. He's a living fever dream. Oh, 100%. Kiefer is a menace. Kiefer has problems. So many problems. Have you guys seen this movie called Barbarian? It came out last year. It's like a horror movie. Have you guys seen it? I went to Will's house and I watched that yesterday because he was like, "You guys need to watch Barbarian. It's like one of the greatest movies of all time." And I'm like, this movie better be fantastic. Yo, dude, what's up, Flo? Some guy down the street. I've never heard about it. Tell me all about it. I'll tell you, this is a horror movie. There's like this like this monster woman living in like this basement of this house where this like serial killer used to live. And he would like, this serial killer, he would like kidnap girls and like take them down to his basement, freaking rape them. And then they would have his babies, and then he'd like rape those babies, and those babies would have it, and then the cycle continues or whatever, right? And so there was just such a cycle of freaking incest that this monster was just a result of like who knows how many generations of incest. And so there's this monster down there in that house. Like there's a whole ass dungeon. It's like it goes like a mile in like all directions or whatever, right? It's a complicated dungeon. And that's where this monster lives. And and so the serial rapist or whatever who owned the house was in like the 80s or some shit. I don't even know. Like yeah, like the 80s or whatever. And so the guy who owns it now, he's like using it as an Airbnb. And so these two people book his Airbnb at the same time and not realizing what's happening. You know, some like weird shit's going on, and then they find the dungeon, and then one just gets his head smashed into the wall, and then the girl gets kidnapped or whatever. And she's down there for who knows, like weeks or something. What type of movies are you watching? This is my friend William wanted us to see this movie so bad. So I went to his house yesterday, we watched it. Anyway, so the guy who owns the Airbnb, okay, this dude just got accused of raping a girl, okay? He's like a producer or some shit, I don't know, and for his company. And he gets accused of raping this girl. And his life's going freaking downhill. He totally did it. He absolutely did. He was like, she kind of said no, but then it took a little bit convincing. You know, he raped her ass. Anyways, he's a total scumbag. And so he needs money, right? Because his lawyer, like his lawyer and like everything combined is going to cost like $170,000. And so he goes to fly to his Airbnb to like sell it or check it out and, you know, all this shit or whatever, right? So, you know, he goes down and he finds the basement, right? He finds the basement where that monster lives or whatever. He doesn't know the monster's in there yet, but he finds it and he's like, oh my God, I can increase the square footage of this house and sell it for more money. So he takes a tape measure, he goes and he just starts measuring the entire basement. Then he gets fucked by that freaking monster lady in the basement in the dungeon. He just like takes a tape measure and there's like a 10-minute sequence of this man just measuring and doing math to try and calculate how much square footage he can add to this house so he can sell it. It was one of the most egregious things I've ever seen. I was like, you should not be measuring. This is clearly a horror basement. And he's just measuring the entire thing. It was egregious. We need to watch it. We need to watch the movie. I know I just explained that to you, but like we need to watch this movie just like together, just so you guys can see how egregious this man is to measure the basement. It was freaking nuts. It's a dungeon. He goes in. There's this room where it's like a disgusting bed, right? There's a camera where the guy obviously like recorded his freaking rape victims or whatever, right? There's a camera there. And he goes into this room. He like sees this camera in this bed. It's clearly like a sex dungeon, whatever, right? He sees his bed. He measures the room. He measures the room. Could this be added? He's like freaking Googling it. Like it's just like the first thing that came to his mind was not, oh my God, there were crimes that probably happened here. It's let me measure this room so I can add it to the square footage of the house. It was one of the most egregious things I've ever seen in the movie. This reminds me of another monster where they body switch their children to obtain morality. There was a lot of incest there too. Wait, I think I know what movie that was. Was it like an Asian like mafia or something like that? Like a gang? Like maybe. No, wait. Wasn't that a plot of like the second or third season of Altered Carbon? I feel like that was. He got me too, he did. A big part of it is the distrust of the two Airbnb goers as they both think the other one is trying to kill each other. Chase, you see that movie? Wasn't that egregious? Yeah. The two people who booked the Airbnb, it's what I don't remember the girl's name, but the guy, his name is Keith. And he's the guy who played Pennywise. It's freaking nuts. It's a donut. We're talking about an egregious movie. It's a pretty good movie. It was pretty good. Yeah. He would not leave us alone. He was like, you guys need to watch this movie. It's so good. And we're like, okay. It's so we watched it last night. It was egregious. And then like just the movie just started reminding of my friend William of freaking Kiefer. Went from egregious friend to egregious movie. Yeah. He told us more stories because the movie reminded him of Kiefer. You guys missed it. Did you guys hear the phone story that I just told? Like, how many of you were not here for that? And should I retell it? Should I retell the phone story? You know what? Screw the monsters. Rent is due. I understand. Yeah, I mean, that's basically his thing. He's like, I need money so I can hire lawyers so I don't go to prison for raping this girl. Dude, it was crazy. He was at this bar and he was drunk. And he was like confessing to the whole thing while talking to this guy. Phone story? I don't know if I want to hear that. You don't. But it's a lit story. I would tell it. Eepster heard it earlier. Eepster and Maine were here, I think. Okay, so my friend Will, he's the guy whose house we went to to watch Barbarian. He was telling us over the weekend, we went to like this lake party or whatever over the weekend, and he was telling us this there, that he has this friend, his name's Kiefer, and one time Kiefer got locked out of his house, and so Kiefer was just not having it. He did not have time to go and figure out that situation. He was so horny. So Kiefer drove to the nearest gas station, went inside the bathroom, locked it, and like propped his phone up on the stall to like watch porn so he could jerk off. Because Kiefer only has the use of one arm. His left arm just freaking dangles there. Apparently he like slept on it weird and they like destroyed the nerve or whatever. So his arm just like is there. And so he can only use one arm. So he had to prop it up so he could jerk off with his right hand. And so Kiefer now, okay. So a little more context. Okay. Kiefer, he cracked his phone. Like he dropped it and the screen was just cracked and just broken or whatever, right? It still worked, but like, you know, it was broken. You know, whenever you drop your phone, it cracks, right? But so Kiefer starts going at it. He starts jerking off. And when he finishes, he comes all over his phone. And apparently the cum seeps into his phone through the cracks and breaks it. He comes on his phone and it is just destroyed now. So Kiefer brought his phone to get it fixed. And he had to tell the guys why his phone doesn't work anymore. And it's because there's dried cum in his phone. And so yeah, that's the type of man Kiefer is. I told a few more stories earlier if you want to scroll back. But I was telling more Kiefer stories, and that's like that like gives you the gist of like what type of dude Kiefer is. A raging alcoholic. Extremely horny. So yeah. Easily, he was telling us a bunch of Kiefer stories over the weekend, and I loved hearing every single one. He needs help. He's a problem. He gets blackout drunk every day. Every single day. He's such a menace. He's such a freaking menace. Alright, that's awkward. Anyways, imagine clicking on this stream for Shiori, and then you just hear me talking about Kiefer. So Rose, excuse me. Maybe beyond help. There's a very solid chance that's the case. I wish you go back to 5 minutes ago when I didn't hear that story. I don't even think that's his worst story. That's like every day for Kiefer. Like calm. He goes through like 6-7 phones a year. He brought it to try and get it fixed, but like I can't fix it. So he got a new phone. That's like an average day for Kiefer. With a name like Kiefer, like it just like makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Rose, I don't know about that. Did he ingest a gas station pill or something? What was the PSI of his liquids? I don't know. You know what? If he's that rich, I'm just jealous. Yeah. I don't know. Another story I told earlier was that like he was at this bar and the next thing he knows, everything goes black and he wakes up in a hospital. And apparently the EMTs told him that he got so drunk, he was just completely unresponsive. And apparently his blood alcohol content was a 0.4. The legal limit is 0.08, and then it starts getting deadly at 0.3, and his was 0.4. And then he didn't want to pay for the hospital, so he tried to escape. He like took out his IV. He ran. He like pulled the fire alarm, so all the alarms are going off. And he tries to escape, but the security guard like freaking tackled him. And then he started fighting and beating the security guard. And then they like threatened to tase him, and then Kiefer gave up. And then he tried to escape 2 more times. But yeah, that's Kiefer. I want to meet him so bad. I'm gonna meet him one day, once. I want to meet him so bad. But yeah, this is painful, dude. Yeah, he's got difficulties. Why do you want to meet him? Because he just seems like such a menace. He seems so lit. But I want to meet for like 4 hours. Because I feel like after 4 hours, I would just like not be able to handle him anymore. That is the kind of person I make sure to never meet in person. He just seems lit. Like just for a little bit though. Apparently he's kind of an ass. But he's also funny. But yeah. I think I told another story, but I'm not going to repeat that one. Long story short, he pissed in this girl. He pissed on this girl. This girl pissed in, like, when she was in him. He was in her, and she just, like, pissed on his dick. And he thought he had HIV, or he thought he had STDs. So he was, like, freaking out. He, like, he peed the bed first. He peed the bed first. And then she woke up, and she saw it, and she was like, yeah, I'm still down to fuck you. Because that's what he does. He pees the bed, like, quite often. He pees the bed quite often. he's a bed peer because he's such an alcoholic. Oh, I thought I told you to repeat this playlist. The short version was even funnier than the first time he told it. Yeah. Last night, right after we finished watching Barbarian, my friend Will, he showed us a video of Kiefer's room. It's like Hoarders, guys. It's literally nothing but beer cans. You can't even see the floor. It's beer cans and trash. It's like, I want you to take the worst possible room you can think of in terms of trash and like double it. That's Kiefer's room. Oh yeah, and then I told him earlier, Kiefer has this thing he calls a cum corner, where it's like a corner of his room that's like there's no trash there. And that corner is purely for him to just come on. Like he comes on the wall and like the floor and shit. That's his cum corner. There's no shit there. That's the entire point of that corner, so he can come on it. So he can come on it. It's freaking disgusting. And then he like wipes it with like a shirt. It's a cum shirt. That's a shirt whose pure job is to wipe cum off the cum corner. That's my last Kiefer story. That's my last one for now. Bye, Flo. It needs to be lit on fire? Oh, 100%. No, for sure. Kiefer's a problem. Kiefer needs an unimaginable amount of help. That's my last story, though. I don't have any more. I wish I did. You want me to keep watching because I'm talking about this, man? It's crazy. It's crazy how we differ where we are, though. Like, when I was being told this, I wanted to hear more stories. Like, I wanted to hear as many stories about Kiefer as I possibly could. But yeah. He told us his other one, but I don't remember it. I was drunk when he said it. Guys, this weekend, we were on, like, I was on this boat at the lake, and the boat has, you know, the regular seating, you know, driver, passenger, and then back seats, and it also has seats in the front. And so we go on the boat. We're there for like an hour. It's just like driving around or whatever, right? And we start nearing towards the dock, and I realize I need to pee. So my drunk dumbass decides to get up and just jump off the front of the boat into the water, pee in the lake, and then climb up, which was fine because, yeah, I've done it before. But now I'm drunk. Anyways, so I like get up and I like slip on the seats because like obviously I was wet already, like from the water, and the seat's wet, so I slip on the seat, freaking face plant into the water, and my shin just boom and like rubs against the freaking boat. And so like I don't know if you can see it now, but oh, it's not that bad anymore. I don't know if you can see it. Like right here. It's just like a freaking... It was so much worse. I absolutely just like... It was so gross. It was so nasty. Niggas coping with the title right now? No, I'm not. That's literally not true. Shiori lover, base. She's my girl though. Like only mine. You know what I'm saying? So pathetic. Free thighs? You like that? I'm an op. Literally, how am I an op? How am I an op? Have fun at uni, Maxer. I'm not an op. She is my girl. What are you talking about? Guys, I committed a sin. I did something that I'm not proud of. It did not occur to me when I was at the lake that driving a jet ski while drunk is drunk driving. But I've learned my lesson now. So I drunk drove a jet ski. Not my finest moment. I'm disappointed in myself. I flipped the jet ski. But that thing's like indestructible. It's been flipped like 1,000 times. So the jet ski was fine. But yeah, I drunk flipped the jet ski. It was an interesting time. Not my proudest moment. I learned my lesson that drunk driving a jet ski is definitely, it still counts as drunk driving. And so I'm not gonna do that again. Flipping in water is fine. Yeah, that's what I said. But yeah, the only problem was me getting back up on the jet ski. Like I could not maintain my balance. I flipped it like 4 more times trying to get back on. But yeah. Yeah, that happened, and then I freaking destroyed my shin. I woke up Sunday morning with just bruises all over my legs. I don't remember where half of them came from. It's freaking nuts. But yeah, now you guys know, and now that I know that drunk driving is not limited to just a car. Absolutely limited to jet skis. Absolutely including jet skis as well. Now my finest moment. All right, guys. Let's talk about my girl. Let's talk about my girl and why she's my girl and not y'all's girl. Okay. I think, first of all, I think Shiori would be the type of girl to be like, wow, you recognized and learned from your mistakes and you're not going to do them again. And you're like, I'm like, so true, Shiori. That's literally crazy. I learned from my mistake. I'm never going to drunk drive a jet ski ever again. Learning. Literally learning. Shiori's about learning and I learned. That's why. That's why she's my girl. I sometimes play with my life and drunk drive snowmobiles. That seems more dangerous than drunk driving freaking a jet ski. You don't though? That's not true. That's not true. You don't. I had a crazy mind-blowing moment last night when I realized who Shiori was and that I've been watching her content since before Hollow even existed. She was the OG and VTuber bro. Yeah, I don't know who she is. This man about to describe his entire parasocial dynamic in his head? No. Listen. It's not parasocial, it's true. Shiori's my girl. Doncho's my girl. And Otto's my girl. And Mikon. Mikon from Danganronpa is also my girl. Nigga's most parasocial man in the server. That's not even remotely true. That's not even remotely true. I want you to know, Flow with Otto is way more parasocial than me. You got like 10 girls to list? What about it? What about it? It's out. Wait, it's out. Will you drunk drive a snowmobile on pure powder in the wilderness? It's crazy. What's up, Johnny? Oh, I see you probably haven't been exposed to Shiori's beating you up ASMR. I'm not an ASMR man, but for Shiori, I would be. I will. Mekon lover, base. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You call yourself Pad Thai because of Yeah, so you guys don't know, Otto said that she loves Pad Thai. And then naturally I changed my Discord name to Pad Thai, which means Otto loves me. Game is game. Game is literally game, boys. Game is game. Don't hate the player. Don't hate the player. Game is game. You're not gaming? That's not true. That's literally not true. Because L was the most I've ever seen you cope. Nah, she's fine. She survived. At the end of the day, she may have died. This is a spoiler for the DGR animes right now. Okay, 3, 2, 1, 0. Mekon survived at the very end of the day. Okay, she lived and she went on to have a happy life with the other remnants of despairs. So she's literally fine. She's literally fine. I feel better. Sure could literally stab me and I'd be a fan of it. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think about it. Never met a worse gamer than Nick. That's not true. It's literally not true. Listen, guys. Listen, I think that parasociality has gone too far when if they asked you to like murder 10 people and you would be totally down to do it, I think that's when it's gone too far. See, for me, if Otto asked me to do that, I would say no. But I would hesitate for like 30 minutes. Same thing with Shiori. Shiori maybe like 29 minutes. Okay. I would say no at the end of the day. That's how I know it's not that bad. You would do that for Mekon? No, I wouldn't. Mekon, I would hesitate for maybe 2 hours. Okay. The hesitation means that you're Roshi. It's not whether you would do it or not. It's like it's whether you would hesitate or not. Whether you would consider and ponder it. If you can't murder for your Oshi, then they really... If you can't murder for your Oshi, then are they really your Oshi? Are you telling me you would murder for Suisei? If you say you'd murder for Suisei, you're more parasocial than me. I want you to know that. If you'd say you'd murder for your Oshi, you're more parasocial than me. What are you gonna ask somebody like 3 people? Who are the people? Who are the people? All right, real talk. Okay, guys, listen. Trolley problem. Okay, if there's 10 people on one side of the track and then a baby tied to the other side of the track and a train's coming and you have to decide which one they hit, the 10 people or the baby, who you letting die? I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably let that baby die. I'm a numbers man. I'm not gonna cap. That baby's probably dead. I was like, damn. That's tough. The baby? Alright, okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Anyone that's not Suisei, that wasn't part of the question. What's up, Gills? Alright. Trolley question. Shiori on one side of the track, Suisei on the other side of the track. I'm sorry, but Suisei has to go. I'd say my girl. What can I say? I love Suisei, don't get me wrong. Shiori dying? Oh. Multi-track drifting. Close my eyes, let the Lord decide. Damn, they equal for you? That's crazy. It is tough. I would definitely hesitate, but I gotta say my girl. I say shiori. Yeah. We don't kill, so you say. Is it killing? Like really? Like okay. Back to the original trolley problem. Would you be killing the baby? Or would you like would that be killing? Because you're not the one driving the train. You know what I'm saying? Yes? No? Yes? Yeah. I got pimple. I always got pimples, guys. That baby becomes chowder. Your choice decided directly their fate. So you're gonna have so didn't you take criminal justice courses? Believe it or not, that there weren't as many ethics in the courses as you would think there should be. Believe it or not. I mean, I'm sure you can. It was all most of it was like theory and statistics and numbers. You need to go. Your choice decided directly the fate, unless the track was already on path to hit them. So if the track was already on path and you didn't touch anything, but would that not still be your choice? Exactly. Unless there's like a choice that killed the baby on it. It's so either way, you're killing somebody. Either way. What are you sure it would be you killing them? Or would it be the person whose fault it is that the train that they're tied up? And all you gotta do is choose which one dies. But would that really be your fault? Or would you know what I'm saying? It's like if you're witnessing a murder and you let it happen. Legally would not be murder, at least in my state. I feel like probably legally would not be. You'd be killing the baby as much as the Batman killed all those ninjas in Batman Begins? Really? You think so? The train will hit one either way. You're deciding who you save, not who you kill. Yeah, exactly. The killing is already going to happen. But it's not you who's killing them. It's you who's saving one of them. You know what I mean? So is it that you killed one? Say there's two people on the tracks. Is it that you killed one or you saved one? I think it's more that you saved one and somebody else killed the other one. Because you didn't kill. You know what I'm saying? Realistically, pull the lever and then jump early to save the other. What if it's far? I don't know. Oh no. Anyways, that baby's dying. Your actions still led to one of their deaths, even if you're not the direct cause of death. Actually, if it's Suisei and Shiori, I'd probably save both somehow and probably get myself killed in the process. Low-key same. Nick sees it more like a heart transplant that you give to one person and save them, whereas Eep sees it as someone is going to die by your action and made someone die who would not otherwise have died. Potentially. Like, I see what you're saying. But I feel like both things can be true at the same time. It's tough. I don't know. That's why it's a problem. That's why it's such a heated problem. Because I finally caught up on Mushoku Tensei, like right before I started streaming. And I didn't know there's like this whole arc that wasn't in the manga. You guys know that shit? I'm assuming it was in the light novel, and the manga just like freaking skipped it. What the frick? Just like get like a piece of wood and then flip the train off the tracks instead of pulling the lever. Now we're getting out of here. Those are the same coins? Yeah. Fada's my Oshi, and if she's on those tracks, I don't care if it's 100 orphan children on the other end. They're all getting pancaked. Yeah, maybe Shiori. I would hesitate, but I would probably say, no, that's not true. I probably wouldn't save Shiori. I would probably save the 100 orphan children. I want to say it so I can be loyal to my Oshi, but I don't know if I can. In all seriousness. But I'm just going to tell myself that I would. Because that situation is never going to happen. So I'm just going to tell myself I'd save Shiori. So I can gaslight myself. Aki! What's up, Aki? Hello, hello. MA Fanatic is the strongest sapling. I think that makes you a better person than me, morally. I don't know if it does. Because I want you to know, if you did that, I would completely not judge you. You know what I'm saying? What arc? It's like Rudy. He's with these like adventurers or whatever. And there's just like tsundere girl that he tries to like frick, but he's got erectile dysfunction. So he can't frick her. And then, you know, after they like warmed up to each other, and now she actually has like likes him. And then she gets upset that he can't freaking get it up. And then that's why he goes to the freaking university. It happened to the manga? I don't think it did. He goes to the university for his ED problem, but I don't think it shows him like freaking that girl in the manga. I read the manga. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I just like it was a while ago, so maybe I just missed. Maybe I forgot about it. Just got off of work. I'm dying. Oof. Oof. I know I did because I looked at it with the unspat. Oh, I guess I'm wrong. There was some shit that I don't remember though. Maybe it's been a while. I think I read the manga would have had like 60 something chapters, and now it's got like 92, so it's been a fat minute. Surviving a flip train is way easier than surviving being run over. I mean, that's true. How is it the train conductor's fault that people are on the tracks ahead of him? Yeah, no, it's the fault of the person who put them there, right? Having never seen Mushoku Tensei is real shit. Yeah, he gets erectile dysfunction. It was like half a chapter. Yeah, they skipped over a majority of it. Like it was like 5 episodes or like 4 episodes in the anime. Sounds good, Hockey. Thank you for the lurk. Appreciate ya. Sounds good. Enjoy your crafting. Yeah. Rudy has erectile dysfunction. It happens to the best of us. Psych. Rudy's not the best of us. Good night, Hockey. Rudy, I talked about this before. Rudy is such a scumbag. I don't like him. And I know he's like, you're not supposed to like him. Like, I get that. But we talked about it last stream. Like, Rudy, he's like 40 something years old, maybe 50 years old. He's gone through so many years in his mind. And he fricked Eris when she was like 11. I'm like, does anybody else not have a problem with this? You know what I'm saying? And then he's like depressed. And then he's trying to get it up so he can frick more girls that are like 12. Like, and, you know, if he was like mentally the same age, then I don't really want to see it, but it's like whatever. But the fact that he's like freaking 50 at this point, it's just like, stop. Like, why? Trains can't stop on a whim. If the conductor isn't able to see them far ahead, then the train won't stop in time anyway. Yeah, that's why it's the fault of the person who put him there. He's not trying to freak more 12-year-olds. Yeah, he tried to freak that Sarah girl in the anime just this like a few weeks ago. But then he couldn't. He couldn't get it up. Good. And I'm sure he's gonna try and freak Sophie. I'm sure he's gonna. Just saying. He's a horny dude. Guys, imagine Shiori sees the stream, clicks on the stream, and then sees me talking about freaking Kiefer. Like the VOD. Is it like etchy? No. He's just horny. It's not etchy. Not supposed to be. He's just horny. It's not an etchy show, but he's just horny. That was Isekai? Yeah, it is. Yeah, like the opening scene, like you go watch the first episode, he gets like reincarnated and he opens and he just sees his mom. And his mom's hot, by the way. Like, so, and he's just like, damn, I'm gonna try and fuck my mom. I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy. It's like, damn, who's this baddie? Who's this baddie that's like trying to breastfeed? Cum corners, trolley problems, edgy anime, and arguments over who's more parasocial. Typical Nick stream. That's all I'm saying. This is content. You guys are having fun. I know you're having fun. You forgot coming phones. It's like, how else can I describe this? He just came on his phone and it's cum seeped into his phone and then broke his phone. When you get into the semantics with this trolley problem, it gets messy. It does. That's why it's so controversial. He gives his mom the creep stare as a baby constantly while and the maid who lives with him. All right, gamers. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Okay. If you were in Rudy's situation and you saw this total freaking MILF in front of you when you were born, would you ogle the MILF even if she's your mom? Because she's not like actually your mom. You know what I'm saying? You can't not stare. That's literally what that's what I'm saying. Exactly. But you can't not stare. They're too hot. So I don't fault him for that. Okay? Because I probably would have done the same thing. But what I do fault him for is trying to frick like 10-year-old girls while he's like 40. Okay. That I do have a problem with that. That's where I draw the line. I mean, she's not your mom, so it's not a big deal. I mean, she is, but she's like not. You know what I'm saying? Biologically, she is. Yeah, it's true. All I'm saying is that I get it. I understand why he did it. He can frick older women as a kid? No, he can't frick her. He can ogle them. He can't. No, he can't. What? Well, hold on. Let me think about that. Can he frick older women even though he's a kid? Because like mentally he's like 30. Like 30, 40 years old. So can he frick older women? Because they're like mentally the same age? It's just that his body is not. It's that his body's not the same age. But like mentally they're the same age. That's the question. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. We can discuss this like gentlemen. You just have to wait. He absolutely has to wait. He has to wait till he's an adult to mess with anybody. I think that's the safe answer. Yes, morally the older woman would be in the wrong, not him. Okay, what if he tells them? What if he like tells them and proves to them that he was reincarnated and he's like freaking 40? Then what? But then is it a problem that they're still attracted to a child's body? That is a problem. Yeah, there's something wrong. He's got to wait. Conclusion, he has to wait. I have less problem with liking people your own biological age than liking your biological relations. This is a discussion. Okay. We are here to solve and discuss and conclude on the the ethical and moral problems of Mushoku Tensei. Imo's not like he used his mental age to get advanced on any of the girls. I mean, I don't know about that. I feel like he uses like maturity or whatever. I feel like Eris was drawn to his like quote unquote maturity. He was mature for his age, you know what I'm saying? Which I feel like is manipulation to me. Morally, older women would be in the wrong, not him. Yeah, okay. As long as he doesn't enact grooming behavior, then it doesn't matter. We're discovering our moral compass situations today. I know. First, come corners, come phones. What's the age of consent in the Mushoku Tensei world? Does it ever mention that? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Age of consent is 18 in the Western world, so it's going to be 18 everywhere else. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what anybody says the age of consent is. If it's below 18, no, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's 18. Some countries are like, oh, the age of consent is 14. No. No, it's not. It's 18. Clipped out of context? Yeah. Now that I think about it, that first part like is bad. Don't clip me out of context. I'm gonna get canceled. Don't you live in Texas where it's 16? It's 18 in Texas. It's 18. I think it's 18. Oh, I'm scared to look this up. I'm going incognito mode. It's 17. All right, 17. But it's 18. Is it really? That's a Texas L. It should be 18. At least. I live in a state where it's 16 now? That's wild. That's wild. Remember when I used to do VOD reviews? Get the frick out. I need to change that. Texas slander? I mean, Texas deserves it, low-key. Texas deserves to be slandered. Let's like Texas, freaking Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, West Virginia. They all deserve to be slandered, boys. It's not cap. Texas is off-brand Florida. It's like Florida's here for like the worst day, and then Texas is like catching up. Age, but 25 age of consent is stupid. I feel like if you're like around the same age, then it's whatever. But if you're pushing like 10 years older, then it's like up to the point where you're like 30. I don't know. It's hard. It's different. I don't know. Don't even. I take back what I said. I don't even know what I just said. Forget it. I did not put enough thinking effort into that. Texas is the normal one of those though? I don't know that. Half your age plus 7? Half your age plus 7. Half your age plus 7. So I'm 24. 19. Oh, that's too young for me, to be honest. My age range is -3 plus 10. So I'll go somebody who's 3 years younger than me, and I'll go somebody for 10 years older than me. What can I say? I'm a dog like that. I was telling that to one of my friends, not to my cousin, and he was like, "What the fuck?" Minus 2 plus 5. Anyway, what's the highest you're willing to go? But say you're 15 years older, would you go for someone 10 years younger than you? I know, probably not. And so if I find somebody who would, that's like a red flag. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's why it had to be like a fling, maybe. It's just older women are so hot, guys. I'm a MILF man to the core. Like, you understand? You understand what I'm saying? It's just the MILFs. The MILFs are so hot. MILFs are allowed. The MILFs are my double standard acceptable. This acceptability, something. I don't know. I don't care if it's a double standard. I'm gonna say it. I don't care. I want a MILF. Three up, plus 5, 3, late 20s for now. Okay. My parents are 10 years apart in age, for example. That's not too bad when you're older, though. I don't want someone who's at a different emotional development stage than I am. I don't want to marry a MILF. I mean, I would, except I don't want to drastically outlive my partner. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I love MILFs, but I absolutely don't want to outlive her. That's my problem. So I would definitely marry somebody my age or around my age. I wouldn't marry MILF, but I wish I could. But I just don't want to outlive. Just go out with him. Maybe. Listen, if all of a sudden we just start living significantly longer to like 150 years, then like it won't matter. You know what I mean? You have an addiction? No, I don't. Guys, I want you all to know Flo is the most parasocial one here. Flo thinks he's married to Otto. He says he's got documents, but he got no documents. Probably go 5 to 7 years in either direction. And for clarification, I'm 20 and my minimum obviously 18. Okay. I see what you're saying. 10 years younger and older and anything in between. Okay. Because I am. No, you're not. I'm parasocial as fuck, so I don't play them. He's got more proof of being with his girl than you do with any of yours. That's not true. That's cap. It's cap and you know it. I think you guys need to just finally accept that Shiori's my girl. Frick, I have to take the trash out. And my dad's doing it right now. I should help him. I'll just do it next time. I'll do it all next time. Therefore, he doesn't have to do it. Anybody got any clips of my girl? Should I go help him? I'll go help him. Give me a sec. Nah, I'll just do it for the next 2 weeks. Next 2 or 3 weeks. We usually do it together. But I'll just do it myself. He doesn't have to do it. It's only one bin this time, luckily. So. Fumoco are pretty good though. I do enjoy Fumoco. I do enjoy Fumoka as well. Did you see Narissa's freaking Goddish cover? I listened to that Goddish cover and I realized that I've only ever heard the cover from Otto. I haven't even heard the original song. I was like, this is an Otto song. Then I realized I forget that it's a cover. That it's not an Otto song. But it is. Yeah, I mean. Original's Vocaloid? Yeah, I think so. I do like Fumoka. They're cute. I'm cooking Otto food? You're literally not. You're literally not. Otto's never noticed you. She's noticed me though. She will. I posted a not okay on my Twitter and I feel guilty. What is that? Do you Lorne Ross? Advent are a definite home run. Oh, they're a freaking hit. They're a hit. I love Advent. The only one I don't really watch is Bijo. Is that her name? She's the only one I haven't seen anything about. Biju. Frick. I forgot her name. Kiseki? Was that right? Koseki. Frick. Biju. Rose will be upset with you. Is she popular? Did you guys see Vispo Yen? Bijo's Rose's favorite. I gotta talk some sense into Rose. Not that she's bad, but she always better. Just kidding. Nobody's better, nobody's worse. I just like Shiori more. But nobody's better, nobody's worse. Dodge the cancellations. Fumoga's rock and roll stream the other day. Mocha let us some fucking fire bars and I had to pick my jaw off the floor. Should go in? I'll have to see a clip of that. They currently have the waifu rating. Does Mude just completely determine whose waifu is worth more? It's just completely determined by Mude. I see a lot of Shiori art. Yeah, Flo tags me or he sends me Shiori art. And I greatly appreciate it. But don't tell Flo that. Don't tell Flo I appreciate any of his actions. Flo's being an op. You stop tagging you and only me? Sure, you don't give two shits about Shiori. Can hear you? Look, shut up. No, you can't. I'm the only one who gives two shits about Shiori. I want you guys to know that. Only me. Oh! Give me that. Suck my dick, Flo. I want you to suck my dick. I almost fumbled that really hard. How would you suck my dick? Like, you nearly dropped her because she doesn't like your shitty book series. No, I was just upset. I got over it. She will. We're not, Chase. No VTubers, I think. We're only rating fictional people. She's likes that horror genre. Stop it. I could fix her. I could change her once she sees my passion. What did she say? She didn't say she dislikes it. She just says that she's more into like classical stuff, the classics. She didn't say she dislikes it. I'll have you know. Guys, Shiori and I are gonna start a book club. No, she just said she's more into classical novels. Now that she doesn't like epic fantasy, send me the full clip. Send me the clip. I know I see them. Thank you, Kelly. I've been watching. I look for it now. Do it. You ain't gonna find nothing. It wasn't dislike. If she actually says dislike, I'm gonna literally fall off my chair and die. Epic fantasy is the best genre of books. I'm gonna say it. It's the best genre. Sci fantasy also lit. It's epic fantasy, sci-fi, urban fantasy. I'm not a fan of mystery stories. I'm not gonna lie. Don't tell Shiori I said that. Epic fantasy is very good for escapism. Yeah, yes. But that's not all it's for. You know what I mean? Shiori's favorite genre is romance and mystery, right? I know. Sounds like you guys have different tastes. I know. It freaking hurts. It hurts. It's like 900 books. What is? Epic fantasy? Just in general? Nonfiction economics books are pretty cool. Teach their own. That's what I'm gonna say. Teach their own. That's a very dude bro opinion you got there. I mean, it's true, but like, teach their own. No, I haven't done it. Sci-fi, you can discuss some important concepts. I mean, like, I think people underestimate how much you can learn about, just how much you can learn from fantasy and just like fiction books in general. You can learn a lot about. You can learn about a lot about people. You can learn about emotions. You can learn about politics. You can learn about economic concepts. You can learn about theological concepts, stuff like that. I have thought about getting into Umineko, but I have not. It was a joke, Nick. I don't actually just read economic books for entertainment. Some people do. Some people do. I was gonna be like, I wasn't exactly surprised that somebody does. You should. It's an absolute masterpiece, even if it's not something in your typical wheelhouse. I mean, I played Danganronpa, and that was definitely not in my wheelhouse, but I still enjoyed it, so I probably would. Spice and Wolf is fantasy microeconomics, and it's pretty good. Yeah, it's lit. I love Spice and Wolf. I'd say if you had to read only one of Agatha Christie's books, either read And Then Were None or Murder on the Orient Express. Wasn't Murder on the Orient Express? Wasn't that a movie? You're welcome. Okay, whatever. Thanks, I guess. Thanks, I guess. I think now that I've been reading more, I've been stepping away from audiobooks because I think it was just a practice thing. I was kind of out of practice with reading with my eyes. And so it was like difficult. It took me longer. I had to focus harder. But now that's not exactly the case anymore. So now I can read a lot faster. So I haven't really been. I have audiobooks as like supplemental things to the physical books. Guys, have I shown you these books that I got? These new Cosmere books? Wait. Let me show you. I want to show them to you. They're so lit. Be right back. Look. Boom! Look how nice this looks. Trust of the Emerald Sea. If you like The Princess Bride, you'll like this. I've been meaning to read Crime and Punishment. I'm going to eventually. Look. Look how nice it is. Look how pretty it is. It's about like... If you like The Princess Bride, you'll like this. It's kind of like there's a girl and then she's like a peasant, and then there's like the Duke's son is like her bae or whatever. And the Duke's son gets kidnapped. And so the story is her going on the freaking pirate adventure to rescue her kidnapped beloved. I know the premise of it, but I'm only like this far in because I just started it today. So this one, it's called Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. It's more Japanese inspired. I haven't read this one yet, but I'm going to right after I read Tress. And as far as I'm aware, it's more of a romance. Brandon Sanderson doesn't actually do a lot of romance. These are kind of like more into romance than he normally does. But I'm excited to read it. I think they're gonna be fire. Yeah, these are like the special editions that you can order, and I ordered them on release, and they're each like $55. So these are my prized possessions right now. Imagine not being halfway done already. Listen, I went through a book called Babel in like 4 days. It was like 500 pages. It was freaking fire. So I went through half of it in like a day and a half. So just today. I didn't read a lot today. I only read like 16 pages. I try to read 100 pages a day. That's my goal, but I obviously did not do that today. Now that I've like been better at reading like physical books, like I've gotten more used to it. Those like muscles have, I guess, started to, get better, and they've been retrained. I can definitely read much faster now. Murder on the Orient Express had 3 movie adaptations? Really? I think so. I think Shiori did say that was her favorite Holmes novel. I'm a visual novel guy. Don't usually read actual paperback books anymore myself, but still cool to see. They look nice. Highly recommend. These are both standalones, so I definitely recommend you guys try them. I already know they're fire. Like, it's my dog, Brandon, so I know they're gonna be freaking good. And I've seen people. I've watched some like I've watched like spoiler free reviews, and another fire. So if you want to get a taste for him, but you don't want to be like committed to like a bunch of 1,000-page books in like the Stormlight Archive or Mistborn that has like 7 novels in it, then check out the standalones. Fire. I can put it over here, can't I? Look at that. In the middle of an ocean, there was a girl who lived on a rock. This was not an ocean like the one you have imagined, nor was the rock like the one you have imagined. This girl, however, might be as you imagined, assuming you imagined her as a thoughtful, soft-spoken, and overly fond of collecting cups. So, in this world, there's an ocean, but the ocean is made out of dust. The ocean is made out of dust, and it's a type of dust that starts like bubbling and kind of acts like a liquid when there are these like underground geysers, I think. So that the ships sail on this dust. It's an ocean of dust. Basically going through the Poppy War, your recommendation. Oh shit, really? How you liking it? How you liking it? I just read Babel. Babel's by the same author. Babel came out last year. Can't find where she talks about epic fantasy, but there's no way she can go from the book she reads to Stormlight. Believe it or not, Stormlight is actually like it's introductory level. But not as introductory levels like Mistborn. Stormlight's a commitment. Let me see. Tress of the Emerald Sea word count. Let me go to Goodreads. It's 100,000 words. 107,000 words. This special edition has 470 pages. What's happening so far in the Poppy War, Chase? You're on book 1? Look, this book also has like really nice artwork. The special editions have a lot of art. They're lit. maybe not. Maybe I'm freaking bugging. It's one of the moons. The ship. There's 12 moons. They have that book and did find the art. I saw one earlier. There are some smaller ones. I'm looking for the main big ones though. This is her bay. So yeah. You can so like I said, these are standalones. You don't have to read any of the more you don't have to read any of the other Cosmere novels, but if you have read them, there are references. Like there was a reference to these people who live on the world that the Stormlight Archive takes place on. And I think at the very beginning of the book it says she's like, I think she's a descendant. Might be a descendant of them. And they have a lot of lore. They're gonna take place on a lot in Stormlight Archive too. Let's see if I can look at this. Look how sick this is. This is so dope. Actually, I can put this over here. Isn't that cool? The art is so it's just so sick. Special editions are so lit. This is so worth the freaking however much money I spent on it. $55. I don't know how much art's in this one. This one's very Japanese inspired, so if you're a weeb, you'll definitely like this one a lot. The main character's name is Yumi. So look at this. Look at this. Which one is it? It's called Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. I can send that in Discord if you want. I'm trying not to get spoiled. Yeah, there are main pictures. I'm trying not to get spoiled by anything though. Picture books. Look at that! That's insane! I have not looked through this one yet to see like the artwork and stuff. I'm trying not to read anything. Oh shit! I have no context for what's going on. This one has more art, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sure the art takes place to give you like an idea of like what's happening in the story. Yeah, this is literally insane. Holy shit. I think this one's more of a romance. A little bit more. There's more of a focus. Just fine with me. I know you guys like romance too. Look, it's like little freaking manga drawings. They remind me of like manga. They remind me of like Western art of Japanese characters. Yeah, these are both. This is more of a romance because they spend time together, I think. And this one is she's going on a rescue mission with a bunch of pirates to save her BF who got kidnapped, I think. So. Dope. Highly recommend. Like I said, if you don't want to give his other stuff a shot, like I said, these are standalones, so they will be lit. Not a commitment. Look, this is literally, look, we're talking about books. This is why Shiori's my girl. This is why Shiori's my freaking girl. I'm still in part 1 of book 1. Been a lot of interesting world building. Oh boy. I want you to know you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. Chase, I want you to know you're not prepared. You are not prepared for what that book's what's gonna go down in that. You are not prepared. I was not. I was like, wow, I'm really enjoying trying to get in school. You know what I'm saying? I'm really enjoying learning, studying. It just goes crazy. You said over 100,000 words. That's only a little bit more than a Danganronpa game. Really? Is it? Oh yeah. Bet. How many words is Yumi the Nightmare Painter? Yumi the Nightmare Painter is 113,000 words. It's got 2 epilogues. I know. So, these 2 books are part of 4 books that he's releasing this year. Well, 5, but 4 of them he wrote during COVID in secret, so they're called the secret projects. And another one, the one that released in April, I believe, it's called The Frugal Wizard's Guide to Surviving Medieval England. It's literally an isekai where he just gets isekai to a fantasy version of medieval England with a freaking guidebook on how to survive. I haven't read it, but I heard it was bad. And then the 4th one he's releasing in December. Like the medieval England one's not a cosmic book. The 4th one in December, it's One of the main character is a side character from the Stormlight Archive, one of his big epic fantasy series. Except the Stormlight Archive, it's a fantasy series, so it takes place, nights and shit like that. But this character somehow became immortal, and it's a space odyssey. Now I unironically hope Shiori sees this so she knows that she makes people want to read. I think she liked that. She makes you guys want to read? I was already reading. I just want to throw that out there. I was reading before Shiori. Just want to throw that out there. That's why she's my girl. But I think she makes a lot of people want to read, for sure, skis. Not my preferred genre, which makes me sad. But people reading is better than people not reading. If she clicks on this stream, if she clicks on this VOD, there is gonna be so many emotions that are gonna go through that woman as she goes through this. So many. It'll be a ride. It'll be a ride for Shursky. She's gonna have to hear about Kiefer, the goat. I was already reading too, but she gives extra motivation towards it. Yeah. True. Hurts my heart every time people downplay reading books. True. Reading books is lit. I don't even play video games anymore. I don't have time. I don't play video games off stream anymore. I stopped. And she always says she's the same. Literally, what a coincidence. That's so crazy. You mentioned Kiefer outside I stream? Huh? You don't even play games on stream? Yeah, I know, true. I don't know. It's just like, video games used to be a lot of fun, and then I started streaming, and then video games stopped being fun. You know what I mean? But I kind of want to play Baldur's Gate. I'm not gonna lie, Baldur's Gate looks fun. I might stream Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate looks like a fun time. You can't date the hot goth girl unless you're at least half as well read as she is, after all. Don't worry. I am. Just not in her favorite genres. I really want Armored Core to come out. Armored Core. Stop playing video games entirely as well. Just read visual novels all the time. Reading's lit. Fires of Rubicon. This looks like Titanfall. Oh, I saw people getting upset about this game that something about the graphics. How the graphics should look better. Something like that, but I think it looks fine. I thought the graphics looked great. Like, oh, the graphics should be so much better and they should move away from Unreal. Don't you dare say that? Why? That doesn't look like Titanfall. Just from the pictures. It's not Unreal? Maybe. People choose that from software uses their own hit house engine. The graphics have always looked nuts, and they fit their world better than anything I've ever seen. I don't know. People always bug. People always be bugging. Guys, I finally watched Gear 5. It's lit. Toon Force is lit. All I was dying. The freaking sound effects were so funny. The sound effects sounded like this stupid ass shit that I freaking watch on TikTok that makes me laugh. Gear 5 peak. The Toon power is so stupid. I was reading that Oda originally created Gear 5, you know, that goofy as a joke. But then people were like, do it. And he was like, okay. And that's exactly how it happened. Basically, more or less. It was like, it's kind of a joke. But people kind of like it, so I might just do it. And I'm like, that's a man who does not take himself seriously, and I appreciate it. It's a little too goofy, but I like it, sort of. Yeah, so the Gorosei are like the 5 like leaders of the world government or whatever. They were like saying that his fruit is the spoiler. His fruit is like it's the human fruit, mythical Zoan version mythical Zoan version Nika, sun god Nika. Relax. And so they said that it's the most ridiculous devil fruit to ever exist. They're like the most ridiculous thing. They just acknowledged it's the most ridiculous fruit, most ridiculous powers. So it's in world acknowledged that it's just complete bananas. So I'm catching up to it just for one good transformation. Just read manga. Isn't he like Joy Boy or something? Yeah, he's basically so Joy Boy, spoiler. Joy Boy was a pirate like 800 to like 1,000 years ago. And he was like Big Hoss. I mean, he had the same devil fruit as Luffy, the sun god fruit. And basically, you know how there are people who with D in their names, so like Monkey D Luffy, Portgas D Ace, Gold D Roger, Monkey D Garp. Spoiler, I'm about to get into this, okay? If you don't want to know, cover your ears, get out of here. So apparently the D comes from so Joy Boy's crew was called the Dawn Pirates. And so everybody, the descendants of the pirate members are the ones with D in their name. They have the will of D, the will of the Dawn Pirates. And so Joy Boy's the leader, and he had the same devil fruit that Luffy has. And so he's basically like the reincarnation of Joy Boy. But more or less, basically, from what I gather. Okay, done spoiling. We're done. Yeah. And so there's this period, it's called the Void Century, where there's just no, like, it's just dark. There's no records, there's no history, like there's nothing there. Except for these things around the globe called the poneglyphs, and the poneglyphs are like these giant stones that are carved and with like the secrets of what happened during that Void Century. And that Void Century is when Joy Boy lived. And so it's like, it's a lot of lore. There's like One Piece is like arguably an insane amount of lore. Like there are people who just make like hour-long videos like every week that just go over One Piece lore because there's just so much of it. Like my friend, the One Piece, the pacing in the episodes are, if only lore was good, I mean, shut up. I love it. I love it when there's a frick ton of lore. I love it so much. I'm a lore man. What my friend does is that the pacing in the newer episodes is like annoying because they like just stare at each other for like 400 years and like shit happens before shit happens. Anyways, so he like skips through the episodes on YouTube and then he just watches lore videos. The episodes are always come out on YouTube before they get taken for like a few hours before they get taken down, and he watches them there. and then he skips through it to see the parts that he wants to see, and then he just watches lore videos where people explain the entire lore of One Piece. AOT is about as much lore as I can take before I get confused. Yeah. And One Piece is like 10 times the amount of lore that Attack on Titan does. Maybe not. 5 times. There's a lot. 10 times. There's just so much. Like every group of people you meet, there's just so many groups of people. And then every group you meet has like this giant backstory, this giant lore that affects like all these other group of people, and every A and B and C, that all these things happen that get you to where you are now. And it's like with every single group of people you meet. It's freaking nuts. And I love it. I love it. I'm the type of guy where it's like the more lore, the better. I want to be able to watch theory videos and just go through the wiki link and just have like an endless like click through. Like, oh, I see something else highlighted. Click, read. I could just go through that for days. That's the type of person I am. That's why I like Stormlight. Because Stormlight's basically the same way. The Cosmo's like the same thing. So you get years of backstory for characters in Life again? No. Everything's super interconnected. So you don't get lore for these groups of people that aren't going to affect what's going to happen in the future, if that makes sense. AOT lore is super complex though. It's just told way more concisely because the story is way shorter. I mean, it is. That's true. I just think that I just like more. Give me more. See, I'm of the opinion. Okay, so people always say that all good things come to an end. Disagree. What if it was up to me, I would just have unlimited content of everything I like, nonstop. If it was up to me, nothing would ever end. Like maybe the entire main story would end, but then all I just want is content that is just like slice of life, Yasuke happy ever afters for these characters. You know what I mean? I don't want to ever end. All this shit can end when I die. That's me. And yeah. And that I'm the type of person that like all these companies cater to whenever they make like a giant multiverse or whatever. Giant cinematic universe. They're like, they just want more. Me. It's me. I'm the one who always wants more. Sounds like you're coping. I am. I don't like it when things end. Makes me sad. You should get into Honkai Impact 3rd. Insane lore and story. I don't like this, like the gameplay. You know what I mean? I've never been a fan of the hack and slash type of games. You ever watch Gintama? That's an amazing show. I'm going to. I've tried a few times, but I'm going to eventually. I'm freaking going to. I've read the first like 100 chapters of Tower of God, and then I watched the anime, but I don't remember any of it. So I'm just going to go back and read it. I love shows that have like a frick ton of episodes and like a giant narrative. Like, I love that. That's my shit. When just like when I find a piece of content that's banger and it just has like an ungodly amount of it, I'm like down. Like, oh my god, yeah. That's why I've been debating getting into Warhammer. Because I know there's a shit ton of Warhammer content. I got really annoyed by something and dropped it. All I remember is that Rachel's a freaking birch. Thomas Red Up Reality IMO. It's the best long show and it only gets better and better as you go. And it has over 360 episodes. Yeah, I'm going to watch it eventually. I swear to God I will. I think that's why I'm so drawn to the Cosmere, because it's just so lore heavy. And that makes my dick hard. There's arguably too much Warhammer content. Yeah. I know. It looks lit. But I've never been like a sci-fi kind of guy. That's the thing. Is Warhammer sci-fi? Yeah, I have a friend who loves Warhammer, and I'm trying to get him into the Cosmere because the Cosmere is like a fantasy version. There's just so much shit. So it's sci fantasy. Keepster. Cosmere is so much lore. And he's a lore man, and I'm a lore man. I feel like he'd like it. Oh my god. I just looked up a reading order for Warhammer. Of the Warhammer books. It's like 900 books unironically. Holy shit. Warhammer 440k sci-fi, Age of Sigmar, aka Warhammer Fantasy is fantasy. Okay. You love Umineko in the same vein. Easy 150 plus hour read. 1.1 million words. Not like an insane lore story or anything, but it has a lot. I like things that have like an overall narrative too. That's the thing about Warhammer, I feel like. Is there an overall narrative for everything, or is it just like stories that take place here and there that don't really like affect each other? I think that's why I love the Cosmere so much, because like all these books that come out, there's an overarching like background narrative about like the gods feuding between each other, and they do a little something in each book, and eventually it's all going to come together into the freaking Avengers. There's no super crazy extended universe, lore, cosmos, or anything, but the story itself is super complex and dense. I mean, I'm down. I heard Ubineko's good. Like, it's on a list of things that I want to get to. But I do have a lot of things I'm going through right now. So I'm going to read Red Rising. Have you guys heard of Red Rising? I have like these two. One, two. I'm reading like 6 more books, and then I'm getting Red Rising, which is like a 6-book series. It looks lit. Overarching story is like the progression of the universe and factions, as far as I know. Okay. Alright. I might be down. Like I said, I have a friend who's super into Warhammer, like stupid into Warhammer, so I'll probably like hit him up. There's so much to read, man. I know. There is. You have to like experience cosmic sized events and bits and pieces and like that. Okay. Like if I get into it, there's a lot. There's a lot of content to consume in this world. I feel like I'm kind of getting out of my anime phase because I feel like I've just watched so much anime in the past decade that I don't hit the same sweet spot. So I think right now that's like books for me that like are hitting. It was books, and then I discovered anime, and then it was anime, and then it was manga, and then manhwa, and now it's books again. Everything's about Warhammer is the orcs. Orcs. Damn, they got freaking guns. These guys look lit. Visual novels are the happy medium for me. You get to read, but you also still get music and voice acting and whatnot, which I also value a lot. That's why it's my favorite medium. Do you have like a good way to take them with you on the go? Like, do you have like a Steam Deck or something, or like on your phone or something? Orcs. I get that. Almost all my favorite anime are from 2008. Hit. You see the Warhammer Novels wiki page? It's so long. I did not, but I can believe it. I know it's an ungodly amount of Warhammer content. So. Jeez. You guys want to see? Let's see what I'm looking at. So let's see. In the novel series, 54 books. It's continued with the Siege of Terra novel series. 8 more books. Short novels. There's a frick ton of them. A bunch of novellas. Do you guys like novellas? I like novellas. Novellas. Audio dramas. Oh god, there's a lot of them. Omnibuses. I like shiori novella. Yeah, no, you don't. That's my girl. Back off. Oh my god. Good night, Johnny. There's just so much shit. Novellas are generally shorter. Yeah, they're like basically short novels. There's just so much content. I don't even know what Warhammer is. Been around since 1983. Did you animate this? Does Warhammer not have freaking... There's too much content. Too much content. There might be... This might actually be too much for me. This might be where I draw the line. Warhammer. I think even I have my own limits. I think Warhammer might be where it's at. Horus Heresy took place before the time that the mini war game takes place in. It's a lot. I have a friend who hates long stuff, and if he sees something long and dense, he nopes out instantly. It's funny to imagine Nick on the opposite end of the spectrum. True. If Warhammer's your limit, then basically everything else is in striking range. True. I mean, you're not wrong. See something he knows will take him the next 7 years of his life and being like, oh, hell yeah. Yeah, basically. That's how I've always been. So when I watched One Tree Hill, I was excited. You guys ever seen One Tree Hill? It's lit. It's lit. All right. I'll call it here, gamers. What we got tomorrow? I think DGR tomorrow. DGR waifu tier list on Friday. DGR tomorrow. Waifu tier list on Friday. And then I'm playing some Phasma with some other gamers on Saturday. Next stream at midnight? No, I'm in bed by midnight. The wife rating was Friday? Yeah, it is. I have more Angie and Kokichi tomorrow. All right, bet. Excuse me. Could go research some Shiori art. Oh boy, oh boy. I respect it. I do. I would say that all that Warhammer content has got to be like 40 times more than One Piece. Something out there. All right. I'll catch y'all later, schmaters. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna go marry my girl Shiori. And there's nothing you guys can do about it. So yeah. That's gonna happen. When I end stream. I'll catch y'all later. Bye. Yada yada. Yada yada daze.